Okay, so picture this. You were lying in bed. It is 2 in the morning. You told yourself you would go to sleep an hour ago, but your thumb is still scrolling. You know you should stop. You want to stop, but you just keep scrolling. And you feel that little wave of frustration at yourself. Why can't you just put the phone down? What is wrong with you? Here's the secret. Nothing is wrong with you. Your brain is just doing exactly what it was built to do. And it was not built for your modern life. It was built to keep a hunter-gatherer alive on a savanna. That brain is now sitting in your skull right now, trying to figure out Instagram. It is using a 500,000-year-old piece of hardware to run a brand new piece of software. And the software keeps crashing. That feeling when you snap at your partner over something tiny, that is a crash. That dread you feel before sending an important email, that is a crash. That third day you skip the gym, even though you were so excited to start, that is a crash. We call it laziness. We call it a lack of willpower. We think it is a character flaw. It is not. It is a design flaw. Your brain has one main job: keep you alive, not happy, not successful, alive. To do that, it developed a very simple rule. Bad stuff is more important than good stuff. A lion is more important than a beautiful sunset. A poisonous berry is more important than a compliment from your friend. Your brain is a threat detector first and a thinking machine second. This is not a metaphor. This is literal biology. There is a tiny part of your brain whose only job is to scan for danger. Scientists call it the amygdala. You can think of it as your internal alarm system. It is always on. It is checking every single thing you see and hear. Is this a threat? Is that a threat? And it works fast, faster than you can think. You hear a loud bang and you jump before you even know what the sound was. That is your alarm system. It does not ask for permission. It just reacts. Now, here's where it gets weird. That alarm system cannot tell the difference between a real physical threat and a social threat. Your brain uses the exact same wiring for a lion chasing you and for your boss sending you a vaguely worded email. The alarm goes off. Your heart pounds. Your muscles tense. You are ready to fight or run, but you are just sitting at your desk. So you just sit there feeling stressed for no clear reason. That email feels like a lion. Your brain treats it like one. This is why you can get so anxious about a difficult conversation you need to have. Your brain is preparing you to fight a predator. But the predator is just your neighbor you need to talk to about their loud music. Your brain is overreacting. But to your brain, it is not an overreaction. It is following its ancient programming. Threat detected, sound the alarm, and it gets worse. Because your brain does not just detect threats. It remembers them. It holds on to them. In fact, it superglues them into your memory. There is a chemical that gets released when your alarm goes off. Let's call it stress juice. This stress juice has a side effect. It acts like a highlighter for your memory. It tells your brain, this moment is important. Remember every detail. This is why you can remember exactly where you were and what you were wearing when you got some bad news years ago. But you probably cannot remember what you had for lunch last Tuesday. Your brain highlights the bad and ignores the boring, normal good. This creates a memory system that is fundamentally unbalanced. Negative experiences stick like Velcro. Positive experiences slide off like Teflon. Think about the last time someone gave you a compliment. How long did you really hold on to that feeling? A few seconds maybe. Now think about the last time someone criticized you. How long did that stick around? Probably much longer. That is not you being negative. That is your brain's chemical highlighter, working perfectly. It is doing its job. It is making sure you remember the thing that might be a threat. So you start your day. Your alarm goes off because you are running late. You spill your coffee. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Your brain is highlighting each of these moments. Remember this threat. Remember this problem. Then you have a nice, peaceful lunch. You finish a project. You get a thank you text from a friend. Your brain barely notices. No threat here. Nothing to highlight. Move along. At the end of the day, you feel tired and grumpy. You think it was a bad day. But it was not all bad. Your brain just only recorded the bad parts. It collected the threats and ignored everything else. You are walking through life with a biased recording device, and you are basing your entire story about your life on that biased recording. You think you are seeing reality clearly. You are not. You are seeing the version of reality your survival brain wants you to see. The version where threats are everywhere and good things are background noise. This is the biological reality. This is the starting point. Your brain is not broken. It is just old, and it is doing exactly what it was designed to do in a world that no longer exists. So your brain is built to highlight the bad. That is the default setting, but it gets more interesting because your brain does not just notice threats. It practices them. It rehearses them over and over. Think about the last time you made a small mistake at work or said something awkward. You replayed it in your head later, right? Maybe in the shower or while trying to fall asleep. That is not just overthinking. That is a specific part of your brain doing its main job. When your brain is not focused on a task, it switches to a default channel. Let's call it the storytelling network. This network's job is to make sense of your life, to connect the dots. And guess which dots it prefers to connect? The threatening ones, the negative ones. It goes back to those highlighted memories and plays them on a loop. Why? Because to your brain, practice makes perfect. If a lion attacked you once, it wants to be ready if it happens again. So, it rehearses the memory. Every time you replay that awkward conversation, you are strengthening this memory of it. You are making the neural pathway for that memory a little wider, a little stronger. You are literally carving a groove in your brain. Scientists call this myelination. It is like adding more insulation to a wire. It makes the signal travel faster. So the more you worry about something, the easier it becomes to worry about it next time. The groove gets deeper. This is why anxiety can feel like a spiral. Your brain is practicing being anxious. It is getting really good at it. Now let's look at the opposite. Something good happens. You have a great conversation. You finish a run feeling strong. Your brain does not do this with the good stuff. The storytelling network does not naturally loop those positive moments. No rehearsal, no groove. The good stuff stays a faint little path in the grass. The bad stuff becomes a paved highway. This is the real reason change is so hard. You are not just fighting a habit. You are fighting a physical structure in your own head. You are trying to blaze a new trail through thick forest while there is a perfect superhighway right next to it, leading back to your old worries. Telling yourself to just think positive is like standing at the on-ramp to that anxiety highway and saying, take the dirt path instead. Your brain will take the highway every single time. It is easier. It is the default. This is also why motivation fails. You get all excited about a new goal. You imagine the future version of you. That feels good. But that feeling is happening on the faint little path. The moment you hit a snag, your brain jumps back onto the well-paved highway of doubt. The highway that says this is too hard, or you always quit. That jump is automatic. It is not a choice. It is your brain taking the path of least resistance. So, what is the way out? If the brain strengthens what it repeats, then you have to get it to repeat something else. You have to start rehearsing the good. But here is the catch. Your brain will not do this automatically. You have to make it. This is where everyone gets the advice wrong. They say just be grateful, but they do not tell you how your brain works. Gratitude is not a magic spell. It is a neurological process. It is the act of forcing your attention to stay on a positive thing long enough for your brain to start building a pathway for it. Remember the chemical highlighter for bad memories. There is no automatic highlighter for good ones. You have to be the highlighter. You have to hold your focus. Research shows you need about 15 to 20 seconds of uninterrupted focus on a positive experience for your brain to even begin to encode it into long-term memory. 15 seconds. That is longer than you think. Try it right now. Think of one good thing from today. Maybe your coffee was perfect, or the sun felt nice. Hold that thought. Do not just note it and move on. Really feel it. Keep your attention there for 15 slow seconds. Your mind will try to wander. It will try to jump to a problem. That is the highway calling. Your job is to stay on the path. This is the actual work. This is what building a new mindset physically looks like. It is not affirmations. It is attention. It is construction. Every time you successfully hold your focus on something good, you are sending a crew out to that faint path. You are clearing some brush. You are laying down a little gravel. It is slow. It is manual. And it is tiring. Because you are using the most energy-intensive part of your brain to do it, the front part, the CEO, the part that makes deliberate choices. Let's call it the manager. The manager has to override the automatic alarm system. It has to quiet the old stories. And it has to direct resources to build something new. That takes fuel. This is why trying to be more positive can feel exhausting. You are not failing. You are doing literal biological work. You are a construction worker in your own mind. And the tools are heavy, so the next time you catch yourself replaying an argument for the 10th time, you will know what is happening. Your storytelling network is paving the highway again. And you have a choice. You can let the pavement dry, or you can deliberately redirect the crew. You can take 15 seconds and remember a time someone was kind to you. It will feel forced. It will feel silly. That is the feeling of using a weak muscle. That is the feeling of building the new path. So you understand the problem. Your brain is built to find threats. It highlights them and then practices them. You also understand the solution in theory. You have to manually highlight the good. You have to hold your focus. But how do you actually do that in real life, when you are stressed or tired or just scrolling mindlessly? The answer is not a new mindset. It is a new method, a simple physical one. You have to catch your brain in the act of building the wrong road, and then you have to redirect it, not with a big dramatic effort, with a small, deliberate choice. The choice is this: interrupt the rehearsal. Let's say you are worrying about a meeting tomorrow. Your mind is racing through everything that could go wrong. That is your storytelling network paving the anxiety highway. You feel it in your body. Your chest is tight. Your thoughts are looping. The first step is to notice the construction. Just name it. Say to yourself, I am building the worry road right now. That simple act of noticing uses the front part of your brain, the manager. It pulls you out of the automatic loop. Now you have a tiny window, a few seconds of choice. In that window, you do not try to stop thinking about the meeting. That never works. You redirect. You pick one specific positive thing to focus on for 15 seconds. It must be specific, not, I am grateful for my family. That is too vague. Pick one real moment. The way your kid laughed this morning, the taste of your breakfast, the feeling of your feet on the floor right now. Then hold your attention there, feel the details. If your mind wanders back to the worry, gently bring it back. You are not fighting the worry. You are just giving your construction crew a new job site. You are saying build here instead. This is the core practice. Notice and redirect. It is a skill. You will be bad at it at first. You will only notice you have been worrying after 20 minutes. That is okay. The noticing is still a win. You use the manager. You strengthen that muscle. Do this once a day. Maybe when you are brushing your teeth. Notice your mind wandering to a problem. Redirect to the feeling of the water on your hands, the smell of the toothpaste. 15 seconds. That is it. That is the entire daily workout. Over time, something shifts. The new path gets a little clearer. The old highway becomes a little less automatic. You start to catch the worry faster. The redirection becomes easier. This is not positive thinking. This is pathway building. It is literal construction. Now let's talk about the big goals, the gym, the career change, the difficult conversation. Your brain sees these as threats. They are changes to the status quo. The alarm system goes off. It calls up all your past failures. It paves the highway of doubt. Your job is to build a competing pathway, a pathway of evidence. You do this after the action, not before. After you go for a 10-minute walk, you must take the 15 seconds. Feel the good feeling in your body. Really soak it in. You are manually highlighting the success. You are telling your brain this is important too. Remember this. You are collecting proof against the doubt. One tiny piece at a time. Before the difficult conversation, you will still feel the fear. That is the ancient alarm. You cannot turn it off, but you can let it ring in the background. You can say, "Hello, alarm, I hear you." Then you redirect your focus to your intention. Why are you having this conversation? What good could come from it? Hold that thought for 15 seconds. You are building the pathway for courage. It will not erase the fear. It will just give your brain another road to take. This changes your identity. You are no longer a person with a negative brain. You are the operator of a complex, ancient machine. You understand its default settings. You know it is biased toward threat. You are not mad at it anymore. You are not fighting yourself. You are managing a system. Some days the system will win. You will spiral. You will snap. You will skip the workout. On those days, you just notice. You say the system won today. That is all. No drama, no self-hatred, just a note in the operator's log. Then you go to sleep and you try again tomorrow. The goal is not to be positive all the time. That is impossible. The goal is to change the balance of power, to make the good pathways strong enough that they become an option, to give your manager a real choice. So when your brain serves up its old story, you are not a failure, you can choose a newer one. I have evidence I can do hard things. That choice is freedom. It is not a magic trick. It is a mechanical process. You now have the manual. You know how the machine works. You know about the alarm system. You know about the chemical highlighter. You know about the storytelling network and its highways. And you know about the manager and the 15-second rule. Yes, you have all the pieces. The rest is just practice. It is showing up at the construction site every day. Some days you will move a lot of dirt. Some days you will just look at the plans. Both count. You are building something real. You are building a brain that can finally see the whole picture, not just the threats,